How to choose the right master. Greetings, young one. The first question is, what is a guru or master? Guru is an ancient Sanskrit word, which means the one who expel darkness and bring light or lead toward the light. The guru is a spiritual teacher who have attained enlightenment, but the real meaning of the word is more than that. Guru is also your higher self, your inner guide, your soul nature. In the most deeper meaning, Guru is the monad, the transcendental united supreme spirit. You can realize yourself as a guru on the first level when you have attained soul consciousness. At some point in your spiritual development, your soul will be showing you toward the spiritual path. The most basic questions will be floating in your mind like bubbles. What is the meaning of life? What happened after the death of the physical body? Is there some kind of universal governing force like God? Then you have become a seeker. You have many unanswered questions, so you will hit up the internet, you will read books on the topic, but eventually you will have thirst for knowledge. Then you will try some esoteric or so-called technique. You try chakra harmonizing or alternate healing method, or if you are a mage type, you will try to develop psychic forces. And this is where the perilous path begins, because every single technique, be it as simple as a visualizing, has its own huge energy field behind it, which you connect to when you use that method. So to speak, these are just doors for an enormous power, and without the right knowledge, you may open the wrong doors. This is where the so-called spiritual warfare begins, but you have no idea about it at this stage. That is why I do not suggest to practice any kind of energy technique until you have an experienced master whom you really trust, or you have unquestionable inner knowledge and experience of that particular technique of your choice. After trying some formulas, you will feel that there is more than that. Some of them will work, some of them will not, and you want to know why. That is the stage where you need a living teacher. You will search for a group or teacher or workshop, but how can you decide which group to choose? Which teacher to choose? There are plenty, no, abundant of them, so it is not an easy task. To find a group and master that match you the most, you have to answer the question, what is your goal? In which direction do you want to go? There are a lot of kinds of groups. The first type is totally materialistic, without any inner knowledge or occult, esoteric or spiritual teaching. For example, the classic self-help groups and personality improvement groups belong here. There are no religious dogmas, no astral energies, and no laws other than the human body, psyche, and mind. The goal of these groups is to improve your personality, to improve your lexical knowledge on a subject without using any kind of inner power or magic. The second type is maybe the most dangerous from the perspective of the spiritual development of human beings. These groups use magical formulas, but they do not admit it, they deny it, and want to explain pseudo-scientifically all of their methods and beliefs. Some New Age practice belong here. Do not get me wrong, there are inner worlds and magical energies, but holding back truth is not advisable from the point of karma. You do not know where these practices will lead in the long run. You do not know what kind of energy fields these are connected with. The goal of these groups often related to success, physical health, or achieve some worldly goal, but in the meantime, these methods just partially work, or work only in the short run, and often hilariously expensive. Be aware, be vigilant. The third one is classic witchcraft. From summoning the spirit of your long-dead grandfather to channel some astral entity's message and powers. They use magical formulas, develop psychic powers, and they admit it. But they use these energies for selfish goals like the previous type, but also some groups use these energies to harm others or bind you to them. So, exercise extreme caution. If that is your goal, then be it, but please reconsider it for God's sake. You will collect tremendous amount of karma, which you will have to work out someday or another. There is no escape from that. Now I want to talk about the dangers that lie ahead if you want to find a really spiritual group. The question arises, why is it so dangerous to join a group which use astral energies? In short, the divine plan for human beings is to reach far, far above than the astral plane. And if you have powers, which are unique and make you powerful, you will think that you do not need the guidance of your soul or the guidance of the spiritual hierarchy. You will stop in your spiritual development. It is like when you want to climb a mountain, want to be at the top of that mountain, and halfway there you see a pub. You stop for a little rest, but the beer is so fine quality and the steak is so tasty that you stay there for a longer time and forget about the top of the mountain. In longer details, these teachers are the master of deception and manipulation, and they really mean it. They channel unholy powers, and most of them do it without knowing it. That is the basic problem. They never experience pure light and think that they are chosen and the savior of mankind, or the reincarnation of an angel or archangel maybe. If you read it, you can see it, that they are so deluded. But when you see them, and they say it without any hesitation, you start to believe them. But please do not. They are just like puppets, and they do not even realize it. These kind of deceptions are based on the hubris of the human ego. They have some kind of psychic connection to an astral entity who will appear in the most acceptable form for that person and start to suggest things that you are the chosen one, you are an incarnated master, and have to teach people, etc. What would you do if someone comes to you saying, "I'm Jesus Christ, your savior"? You would not believe that man. Then why do these people believe it when the exact same thing happened in the astral world? An astral entity with who knows what kind of motivation appear for them in the form of a saint or angel, but because they have never ever seen an angel, they cannot recognize the deception, and instead of questioning, they just believe what the entities say. This is the lack of esoteric knowledge. This is not taught in the school, and probably you have never heard this kind of stuff from your parents, and exactly that is why you need a master. If you want to use your rational mind to choose the right master, you are on the wrong track. That is exactly what the opposing forces expect you to do. Be smarter. The rational mind says, they speak about God and angels and love. This group must be good. But anybody can speak about God, even the most evil man. Okay, I got it. I must not use my rational mind. Then what? Have you ever heard about intuition? It is not just a feminine hogwash. It is about using your subconscious mind or feminine mind, or right cerebral hemisphere. But to go more forward, there is the heart, the center of your being. If you can open your heart, this means the heart chakra, you can sense subtle energies, and this is your goal to choose the right master. Just be quiet, focus on your heart, and breathe slowly and naturally. Try to feel your aura and remember that sensation. Then get a picture of the leader of a group you want to join. How do you feel? There are several areas you should check. From top to bottom, there is the mind area. Do you feel some kind of headache? Then the leader is confused, maybe a liar, or has a hidden motivation, usually to make money. The next one is the throat area. If you feel like you need to cough or something similar to that feeling, the throat chakra of the leader is not pure. In the most case, this means that this person twists spiritual truth to his own goal, mixing truth and lie to get the most result. Avoid them as far as you could. Then comes the heart area. Do you feel love? You can determine their motivation from this. You need to feel kindness love, and forgiveness if you look at a guru. You can sense bad feelings if the person wants to hurt someone or full of violence. And you may say, who on earth would choose a violent person as their master? But there are many hidden forms of violence, which is only perceivable by the heart, or when it is too late. After that, focus on your solar plexus, on your stomach. You can feel materialistic goals here or emotional wounds. In the right case, you can feel calmness here. The last one is the sacral chakra or sex chakra, or chakra number 2. Here you can sense the sexual energy of a person. If it is overly activated when you look at someone, then the leader's real goal is to score a point, if you know what I mean. The most probable outcome for your first try that you will feel absolutely nothing different. Calm down, it is totally normal. You have to practice for years or even decades to have stable results. It is extremely difficult to differentiate between these kinds of super subtle energies for an average human, because the Western society do not deal with chakras or the aura. You have to cleanse yourself, your energies, your thoughts, your body, your mind, and your emotions. I want to share with you 2 basic techniques which open your heart chakra. The first one is a silent one. Just sit comfortably in silence and focus on your heart. Breath in and breath out. Do it as long as you can, but always remember this is a sacred breathing, so do it humbly and respectfully. The second one is a work with the voice, with the word. Sit comfortably, focus on your heart, and say Om clearly and firmly as long as you can. Then breathe in and say Om again. That's it. Do not expect miracles. A long way you must travel to reach open-heartedness. Remember, years or even decades. Spiritual guru choosing cheat sheet. Avoid mediums at all costs, all kind of it, really. They think that they channel spiritual beings or the members of the spiritual hierarchy, or saints, masters, gurus, or angels. But how do you really know that who is on the other side of that channel? Simply, you just don't know. And 99 out of 100 times they channel some kind of astral entity, which will never lead to enlightenment, salvation, or self-realization. You can recognize mediums by the messages they channel. They say that I bring message from Jesus or God or angels. Usually they want to put you to spiritual sleep by telling that you do not need to do anything for your salvation, because everything is arranged by the spiritual hierarchy. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Avoid energy healers. There was Jesus Christ who channeled the pure light of God, but so developed human beings are extremely rare. Remember, maybe 1 out of 100. Why do you think that you have found the one? The basic problem with most of the healers that they will give you energies from previous customers and from their own ego, which are not pure, so to say. Most of them will say that they use some kind of purification technique, but in my experience, it is far from enough. In short term, they will think that they help you, and also you will think that they help you, because the pain eased for a little time, but in reality, they bind you, and usually they do not even know about it. After some time, the pain will be back, and if you are smart, you stop the treatment, but if the binding was successful, you will feel the need of another treatment, even when you know that it will not help you. Be strong, pray to God, and break those bindings. Avoid shamans and shamanistic drums. They work with the astral world, even if they claim to be the most pure beings on earth. At first, you will feel that shamanistic drums cleanse you, but when you are touched by the light, you will realize that those kind of frequencies destroy the subtle light energy in your aura. Avoid New Age stuff altogether. These belong to the old world, to the old energies. The most sacred techniques are the most simple ones, without any technical devices or tools. The change must be in the inside, not on the outside. Avoid soothsayers, cartomancers, wise or medicine men. The future is in God's hand. There are acts, and there are fruits of those acts, like ripples in a lake. You can counter the ripples with other ones, but whenever you throw a rock into the lake, there will be ripples. Unfortunately, many soothsayers spoke about my future, but none of them were right. That is all what I can say about them. Cartomancers are get it all wrong. Tarot keys are one of the most sacred creation of real masters. The cards they use is twisted, far from the originals, and the original keys should be used as a focus to your meditation, and not some soothsayer stuff. Avoid crystals and minerals. Well, not all of them, but most of them. There are books on them that every single one is heal you of something, but in my experiences, I just feel something really bad about them. Like an electromagnetic burst at my heart. I do not need them. Maybe it is just me, but I'm sure that most of the information about them is incorrect. Maybe some highly valuable jewels are really good, but I do not have experience with them, and those men who use them regularly have a specific bad aura. Of course you need salt and internal minerals like zinc, but those huge rock crystals emit radiation, which eventually destroys subtle light energy field. Also, in all crystal there is a spirit, and communing with them is considered to be witchcraft. Search for sacred mantras about God or the love of God. These can cleanse your aura in every way. Search for meditations which focus on one image or scene, or no image at all. Search for breathing meditations for your chakras. Search for sounding of God's various names. Search for prayer to God, Jesus Christ, or Virgin Mary. Search for knowledge about the inner worlds, preferably about the higher worlds. The fourth type of groups are the spiritual groups. Their goal is to guide toward your soul, toward enlightenment and liberation. They do not care about worldly success or money. Maybe there are some healing techniques, but only to help your spiritual development, and not to make you a half maniac. The leader of these groups acts selflessly and never ever bind you to the group or him. When you successfully find a real spiritual group, you become a disciple. There is a Latin word for that, disciples. The energy field, the aura of the guru, is always infinite love and light. I hope that helped. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.